Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, so am I. This is my first video, so welcome to us both. I'm gonna do a little bit of a speed build and chat today since, we don't know each other, and hopefully keep it kind of chill, keep it relaxed. I'm gonna be doing a industrial tiny home, and it's actually inspired by a house that I saw in person in real life. So if this is your house, sorry, that's kind of awkward, but here we are. As you can see, I have two buildings on the lot right now, and if you're thinking that would make it two tiny homes, you'd be correct. In real life, this house on their lot, they have a barn in the back, and when I was first starting out, I was like, I'm gonna do both of them. I'm gonna add the barn in, just do the whole property. And then I got kind of halfway through, and I decided the barn was not the vibe. So I took it out. So you'll see probably, I don't know, maybe around the 5-minute mark in this video, I'm gonna rage quit on the barn, just so you know, and it'll just be our little industrial tiny home. I would love to do more of these videos. If you have any suggestions of what you would like to see, speed builds or literally whatever, I am down for it. I just want to play The Sims and make videos and have a good time. So in real life, this house, the black part on the right that you see there is higher than the brown part, but they are one level, and of course we know The Sims does not like that. There are a couple moments in this where The Sims has like this really cool feature where it makes you never want to play The Sims again. And I will hit that a couple times throughout this video because I am sort of relearning The Sims, and you will see when I make stupid mistakes, especially when I'm gonna build a loft here in inside this tiny home, and it takes me about 4 tries before I figure out what the heck I'm doing. So the reason for that is I used to play a lot of Sims back in like 2022, 2023 when I was in college, but I was playing The Sims on my 2017 MacBook Pro. Blue spec with a MacBook Pro. If you're Canadian, you know what that is from. Okay, if you're from anywhere else, you probably don't. But anyways, if you have ever tried to play The Sims on a MacBook, you know you're basically creating a metal box of lava. It gets so hot, it doesn't work. You can barely put any mods on. You can barely run your packs. Honestly, it's too much. It's too much. And then if you've ever tried to use a 10-year-old computer, you also know what that's like. So then add those two together, 10-year-old MacBook Pro trying to play The Sims. It's not great. So I stopped playing The Sims for a while. But in the year of our Lord 2026, my fiance and I have finally built me a PC. It's fully pink, by the way. I will put a photo here. That was me making my own sound effect, so I don't have to add it later. There's a photo of my pink PC, Hiiiiii, and I can play The Sims freely. So for these videos, I kind of want to do stuff. I don't want to use custom content. I want to keep it basic. I'm relearning some things. I will take all the critiques in the comments. Please give them to me. Teach me things. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. If I'm being stupid, I will hear you out. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun. So these windows, this is not the layout I'm going to go for in the end. This is kind of more what it looks like in real life, and then I took some creative liberties and I ended up changing them, but they are red in real life, and I find myself kind of being like a sad beige person sometimes when I'm building. I like to stick with my like neutral colors, and I think if I was building something just from like my imagination, I wouldn't have chosen a red door and red windows. But now that I'm kind of really looking at them, I like it. So I'm glad that I'm building something from real life, because you get to try nice, fun things. And that's kind of what the outside of this is gonna look like. I don't know what I'm doing here. Having a moment of reflection. A moment of confusion. Okay, so here I'm adding the barn back in, and this is where I'm gonna like try to make it and then absolutely rage quit, and in a moment there will be no more barn. I considered taking this part out of the video, but you know what, we gotta show the whole process, and it would be kind of weird if it just skipped forward. So this is my absolute nightmare of a barn. Enjoy. Ooh, also, I know this is controversial. Okay, hear me out. I know some people think it's kind of weird, but I am an ASMR person. So I was kind of hoping this video was going to be like relaxing, but I wasn't exactly going for the ASMR vibes. But let me know if that is kind of a vibe I should follow and go for. I would love to try it out. Or I don't know, what is there a need for in the Sims YouTube community? I will fill that gap. I will. Also, if you're wondering, even though we are going to scrap this barn, if you don't know, when you are adjusting a roof, which I actually think I spent 8 years adjusting this roof. If you are adjusting roof and you press Shift C, it will bring up more of those little circles on the outside and give you kind of more of like a range of motion to fiddle with your roof. I'm sure a lot of people know that, but I'm sure a lot of people don't. So if you didn't, there you go. You learn something new every day. So this finally, oh my God, how long was that? That was probably like 3 minutes of this video of me trying to figure that roof out, all for naught. All for naught. I am going to decorate it. We will get to a point eventually where this roof is deleted. Cue the Jeopardy music. I was actually looking for something here that kind of looked like a garage door, because again, in real life, this barn, it's like a barn, but it's not a barn. It's actually their garage. It just looks like a barn on the outside. So I was trying to go for like that garage door look. I have a country clubhouse, mansion house. That's a lot of descriptive words. I have a country club house in my gallery, which is Izzy MT. Oh, by the way, I literally don't think I ever said this at the beginning, but my name is Izzy. Hi, nice to meet you. I'll put it up on the screen here. My gallery is Izzy MT if you want to go look. That one is from my old simming days when I actually knew how to build and do a lot of cool and fun stuff. So that one has a garage with, oh, here's me rage quitting. Don't worry, we don't have to worry about the barn anymore. It's gone. Now we can focus on our tiny home. Anyways, it has a garage with some cars in it, and I'm a fan of that house, so I gotta go look back and see what doors I used to create that garage, because I do remember it looking garage-ish, and I can't remember which. Maybe it was those like fully glass ones from the Eco Lifestyle pack. I don't know. But that shameless plug of my gallery. I have a lot of cool builds from like 2022, 2023 that when I look back at them now, I genuinely do not think I could recreate them. Like, I don't know how I did that. I've lost that skill and I would like to get it back. So hopefully this is kind of a journey to regaining that skill. And yeah, but if you want some cool builds, go take a look. There's some stuff in there that is from my prime days, if you will. Remember earlier I was talking about that cool feature that The Sims has where it makes you not want to play The Sims? This is one of those features. Creating a loft on a one-story building. Bane of my existence. And this is the part I was talking about where I I could not decide how I wanted it to look or what platform I wanted to use or whatever. And I just kept destroying the outside and having to redo it. Eventually I do get there, and I'm going to use the L-shaped platform to create it because I wanted a little bit of like something interesting to look at, create like an interesting floor plan when we have such a small space in the room. I kind of want to create like intrigue, right? So I'm gonna eventually, yes, put down that L shape. That's the one you want, girly. And that loft is going to become our bedroom. This is a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, obviously, because where would I put a second bedroom or a second bathroom? I don't know, a basement maybe. But no, there's no basement in this. So there's a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and that loft is going to be our teensy tiny bedroom. Oh my God. Take a shot every time I say bedroom or bathroom. And we are finally getting somewhere here, people. Okay, so I'm gonna adjust the height here, and then I'm gonna start adding half walls and a ladder. Obviously we don't have enough room for stairs. So we're doing a ladder, and half walls are going to be added to the loft. It kind of just makes it look a little more like it's actually inside a house and not just a random concrete block. Fiddle with the size here. I think it also adds to that like intrigue I was talking about before. I love adding those wood slats. I think they come from the Eco Lifestyle pack as well. And you will see I will add them in a moment here. Actually, I think it's a little bit later on, but I love adding them to half walls just to, I'm going to keep saying the word intrigue and then I'm going to regret it later, but what other word am I going to use? It creates something interesting to look at. It creates a little more, makes it unique, makes it not so boring. And I really have to convince myself to not make Sims houses boring. I've been told that like I should go into interior design by people in my life, which I don't know why. I think it's just because they know that I like to build houses in The Sims, and so that translates to interior design, I guess. But I really feel like I actually have no style. It's something I really struggle with, especially like clothing style. I got none of that. Okay, I just look, I don't know, you know, I follow the trends because I don't have my own sense of style, and I'm really trying to work on that in The Sims, of not creating boring houses to look at, especially if I'm going to be posting them here. Nobody wants to look at like boring and basic houses. So I decided the color scheme for our bedroom is going to be like a lavender and a teal kind of color, because that's interesting, right? And also, I find it really helpful excuse me, to go look at the color wheel in my mind and use complementary colors. And I think the complementary color of purple is yellow, if I'm not mistaken. So green, not too far off, right? They kind of work. And that's how I do a lot of things in my brain, because it doesn't come naturally to me. So we're going purple and teal. And another thing about me, whenever I'm building, it's always going to be a girl's room. The room is always going to be girly. And I never play with men Sims, because why would I do that? I don't know. I don't know how to be a man. So I am going to play as a woman in The Sims as well. And my like natural inclination to decorate is really girly. Like we talked about before, I have a fully pink PC. Pink is my favorite color. I like girly things. So if you're watching my builds in the future, whatever I post in the future, and you're like, why are your rooms always pink and purple and sparkly and flowers and whatever, that's why. Also, another fun fact about moi, I don't really play The Sims, if you know what I mean. I build in The Sims. I'm not one that does a lot of gameplay. If I do, I like to play as a vampire. That's just a preference. I like the vampire pack. I like the, sometimes they're so frustrating though, but usually I do play as a vampire. You will not catch me doing it often, because I come into the app, and like the EA app, I open my Sims up, I would build a house, and then I turn it off. I really am not one for The Sims gameplay. And I know it's kind of weird to like call myself a Sims player, but I really don't actually play The Sims. So I know I was asking for like suggestions of what kind of videos to make. Just so you know, I don't do a lot of gameplay. I probably won't be doing gameplay videos. They're probably going to be more like builds or building challenges or speed builds, or maybe I'll do some like ASMR, go to sleep while I build this kind of thing. But yeah, it's funny that I call The Sims my favorite game, but I don't play The Sims. So I feel like I've been talking for a while, 15 minutes now to be exact, and maybe you're sick of me a little bit, as much as I am sick of hearing myself. Before I let the music kind of just play, this is where I'm finally adding in those wooden slats that I was talking about before on the half wall. They're fun. They kind of create like, you don't have a full wall, but they give a little bit of privacy and make the illusion of another room, give you something interesting to look at. Another fun thing is you can, using the 9 and 0 key, move things up and down and hang them on the slat walls, even though technically they're not walls, and create some decorations that way. I don't do it in this version, but that's an option, just if you're wondering. So I'm gonna let myself decorate here a little bit. I'm gonna let the background music do its job and shut up for a while. And hopefully you can just, relax, watch me decorate. I'll see you in maybe 5 minutes. Hopefully I didn't startle you with my voice, but I am back to talk about the bathroom here. We're just starting the bathroom. We did all our walls, and I am using these tiny baby little boxes to create kind of a shelf to put some decorations on. We have our basics: toilet, shower. I mean, not a shower. I did a bathtub. I'm a bathtub kind of person. I think the showers in The Sims are so ugly. That's just me. So I will usually go with a shower. I'm gonna add some laundry and some makeup and some like a hair dryer onto here just to give it. I was testing out some shelves. Don't really love them. Anyways, I'm going to a game night tonight, the night that I am recording this, not the night that you're seeing it, obviously, and had to bake a cake. So in that little 5 minutes while you were watching me decorate, I baked a whole cake. I made a Swedish, what's it called? Swedish sticky cake, I think. I'm not gonna say the Swedish word for it because I will absolutely butcher that, and I'm not trying to be made fun of on the internet. So it's a Swedish sticky cake, I think is what it's called in English. I think I baked it a little too much. I've made it before and it was so good and like gooey and yummy. And this time I think I left it in there too long, so it's like a little bit hard, but I'm hoping it'll still be good, especially because I am bringing it to a party. And I can't have people thinking I'm like a mediocre baker at a party. That's my worst nightmare. Oh my god, can you imagine? So anyways, back to it then. What are we doing in The Sims? I got distracted by my own cake baking. Oh, placing down some rugs, giving it a little bit of some, I don't know, dimension here. I never really know what to do for like walls in bathrooms. I also don't really like the options that I have, and that's probably one of the rooms I struggle with the most to decorate. This hanging plant that I just put in the corner, one of my absolute favorite items in the entirety of Sims 4, any pack, base game, whatever, doesn't matter. That's one of my favorite items, and it will be placed somewhere in every single house that I decorate because I just can't get enough of it. Right now we're adding a door, obviously, so you can get in. I'm gonna add an archway to get into the kitchen, just to open it up a little bit more, make it look bigger than it is. And then we're gonna go on and decorate this kitchen. So if I am decorating a kitchen and I'm going for a fridge or a stove, I'm either going this set from Juggle Adventure, or I'm going that like very boxy brown gold one from Cottage Living. Those are really the only two answers. Anything else, wrong. Here though, we are using a countertop stove because obviously we don't have a lot of room, and I think that comes from, what pack is that from? I don't know. I really don't. I tried something here. We're gonna go back and put that fridge in the corner again, but you know, I'm gonna try some things out. I wanted to make like a kitchen here, but also a seating area, because we can't just have our Sims hanging out in their bedroom. That'd be kind of sad. So I'm doing half of this room is gonna be the kitchen, as you'll see here, and then just behind that fridge is gonna be a seating area with a TV. There's not really going to be anywhere to eat. I was going to put a little stool there, as you see, but I just don't think it's going to work out because I actually forgot that we need a sink. And that's kind of the only place I can put a sink. So, you know, this Sim, if they're living in this house, they're probably just going to have to eat dinner on the couch, which is not the worst thing in the world. My fiance and I recently, because Scream 7 came out, I think right at the end of February, we are rewatching all of the Screams, starting at 1 all the way up until we can watch Scream 7. I'm very excited. I love Scream. I also love Scary Movie, like the parodies, and they're releasing a new Scary Movie in June. So this is like my time to be alive. I'm thriving right now in the release of Scream 7 and Scary Movie 6. If you haven't watched all of the Scream movies, go do that. They're incredible. Especially the first one, okay? It's hilarious. One of the best movies ever. Fight me in the comments, I don't care. Okay, here we are choosing some blinds, and I actually end up deciding to make them orange because I really feel like if we're going for that industrial vibe, which I've been kind of going in and out of this entire time, I really feel like the wood look of the kitchen, that wood metal look with the orange, just gives that industrial look. Here I had some trouble placing this paper towel, so we're going to move it over, use that 9 key and the Alt key to get it into the right spot so it really kind of looks like it's sitting right by the sink. And I believe I'm going to do that as well over here, with our utensils. And I always really love to place this black metal kettle on the stove. I don't know why, I just think it looks so good, and I use the same method for that, the 9 key and the Alt key, and just get it right sitting in the right spot, and I love it. I think if I'm doing anything in my Sims house, it's hanging that hanging plant in the bathroom. That's gonna be there, and there will be a kettle on the sink in every house that I build. I just can't help myself. It's like, how could I deny myself the pleasure, right? It's so cute. I actually ended up recording more in that clip, but then my fiance came out of the room and started talking to me while I was recording and ruined everything. So I have to redo this one. Anyways, we are back here. What are we doing, girlfriend? I don't know. I'm just as confused as you. Oh, I wanted to add a little more like decoration. So I wanted to add some indoor plants. I didn't end up going with this. I'm gonna go with like the trestle. Is that what it's called? Trestle, I think. Plants here, I think it kind of fits the feeling of this house a little more. Give that walkway something, because normally I would put like a console or a chair or something in the walkway, but we don't have room for that, so we're just going to decorate with a little bit of plants. And then a mat, get a little funky with that mat there. And finally we can move on to the last section of this tiny home, which is the little seating area. I was thinking maybe putting in something from the Tiny Living pack, but I just don't really like them. I'm not gonna lie, when I first got the Tiny Living pack, I was really excited, and then I was a little bit disappointed. Don't tell anybody I said that. I just think they could have done better with that one. I don't feel that way about a lot of packs. There's a lot of packs that I love. Or kits. I can't remember if that was a pack or a kit or whatever. Doesn't matter. Tiny Living, it fell short. Fell short for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would much rather take like blooming rooms, greenhouse stuff, or bathroom clutter. Anything like that I would take over Tiny Living any day. I guess it is a stuff pack, hey? Or a kit. I don't know. I decided here that, again, didn't want to put like another window there because it was too much. So we're doing a gallery wall, and I decided, because we have the orange on the wall, what would kind of go well with that? A blue. So they're all sort of blue colors, and I'm gonna fiddle around and rearrange them until they kind of look nice on the gallery wall. I just recently did this in person in our apartment. I built myself a gallery wall. It's all gold, it's not blue. And then final touches, we need a table, and I think I add a rug as well. And then that is gonna be it for the inside of the house. But of course, we have some landscaping to do, so we're gonna go outside. I am gonna stop talking again a little bit, I think, while we're doing some landscaping, and you can enjoy the landscaping with some music playing. Hi, I know I said I was actually gonna shut up while I was landscaping, but I'm a dirty, dirty liar, so I'm back again because I just wanted to share that I love doing this. When you're creating a path, you take, like, it kind of looks out of place. I feel like the best way to make it look a little more realistic is get some dirt, make it really, really transparent. So it's barely even painting on, and go right beside that path, and it just kind of makes it look way more realistic, like there's actually a path there and it's not just sitting like 2D on your grass. And then as well as that, you're gonna go around your entire building, which I know it sucks, with that same dirt. Just makes it look more realistic as well. And any plant or rock or structure that you put down, you're gonna go around with that dirt. And honestly, one of the best things that I figured out was, okay, I don't know if you guys remember that barn that was in the left-hand corner about 20 minutes ago. But I'm going to replace it with a pond. I'm going to put a pond there because if there's ever space on a lot and I don't know what to do with it, pond. It's about to be a pond. One of the best things that I ever learned in The Sims, I feel like that might be dramatic, but is that if you put a hole in the ground and you're like, damn, that hole kind of look ugly and it doesn't look realistic and it just kind of, it looks out of place or whatever, is go around the edges, smooth it out obviously, and then go around the edges with dirt, and it truly is so easy and it makes it look so much more realistic. So you'll see me do this now. I'm digging a little hole here. Rest in peace to our barn earlier. And we're gonna make a pond, and those edges, they look really bad because it's just the grass just stops even when you put the water in. So if you go around it with a dirt thing, airbrush, whatever it's called, it'll look so much better. I'm adding in some trees. And now that I'm kind of really looking at it, I don't know why I did this build with the ocean in the background. I don't know if it really fits the vibe, but it is what it is. And obviously, if you want to use this house, you can place it anywhere. But we are in far too deep, my friends. I'm adding some stuff to make it more realistic. I also really wish that the Sims would give us more pond. See here, I'm adding the dirt. Yeah, it just makes it look so much more realistic. I wish they would give us more pond skins. Do you know what I mean by that? To make the pond look different. I don't like the ones that are in it, so I usually leave the water the way it is. And then here I'm creating a little bit of a desire path, if you will. Not a real path, just a dirt path for my Sims to walk to the pond, and a little seating area on the other side with a barbecue, obviously for some outdoor activity. And then just a garbage can. I think the one thing I forgot to add here was a mailbox, but that's okay. We will persist without a mailbox. It'll be a-okay. And then adding some lights, and this is gonna be it. I think those lights are one of the last things I added, and then we will go into a little montage in a second here of the outside and a walkthrough of the inside of our tiny industrial home. Yee. Wow, look at this. The camera skills, impeccable. Oh, there's a motorcycle going by. I love that I go up into the loft and I am the size of a rat viewing that bedroom. Please ignore that. We're doing a little walkthrough, you are the Sim. And then that's about it, because there's only 4 freaking rooms in this whole thing. If you would like to find this, again, my gallery is Izzy MT, and it will be called, what will it be called, Izzy? Let us know. Industrial Tiny Home. Yay! You can find it there. Thank you so much for watching, and if you've made it this far, especially, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Leave me a comment of what you want to see. If you like this video, if you hated it, I don't know, you can let me know, and I will hopefully talk to you very soon. Okay, bye!